I wish I had 9 lives. In the first, I would spend it chasing wonder, running barefoot through the rain and thunder, through childhood halls where every ceiling held its breath, where love went quiet long before it tasted death. I learned that silence was the safest way to stay, that if I smiled, the cracks might fade away. Some houses never break with shattered glass or sound. They teach you how to tiptoe softly on the ground. I was too young to know what fear sounded like, too young to know that peace should let you sleep at night. In the second, I would try to make things whole, taking every broken thing into my soul. I'd thread my little hands through wounds I couldn't mend, believing love could somehow rewrite every end. I'd carry grief that never should have been my weight, and stand there trying to negotiate with fate. I'd see the storm approaching, yet refuse to run, believing knowing pain could somehow make it undone. But foresight cannot save what was already gone, and some things fall apart no matter how you hold on. In the third, I would mistake the ache for love, keep reaching for the hands I should have risen above. I'd speak my truth to hearts that had no room to hear, then blame myself whenever someone disappeared. I'd stay in places where I slowly learned to shrink, giving until I barely knew what I was meant to think. I'd name my suffering loyalty, my silence grace, and lose another piece of me in someone else's place. As if becoming hollow proved my heart was true, as if losing myself was what love asked me to do. In the fourth, I would become a living flame, where in every bridge before, someone could do the same. I'd call detachment freedom, call indifference peace, believing if I cared for less, the hurt would finally cease. I'd sharpen every softness into something cold, where loneliness like armor, hammered out of gold. I'd build myself a kingdom no one could come through, then call myself a queen, because nobody ever knew. But empty thrones are colder than they look from afar, and even guarded hearts still wonder where the warm things are. In the fifth, I would chase applause like air, searching strangers' eyes for proof that I was there. I'd shape myself into someone no one could ignore, then hate myself each time they asked me to be more. I'd polish every wound until it looked like art, make brilliance from the wreckage buried in my heart. I'd learn to be impressive, dazzling, hard to miss, without ever learning how to simply just exist. They'd praise the way I burned beneath the stage light glow, but no one would ask why I had to burn to show. In the sixth, I would make the past look gold, dress every painful memory in stories softly told. I'd mourn the lives I thought that I was meant to live, and grieve for all the years I never got to give. I'd turn my scars to constellations and my grief to rhyme, make shrines from every person swallowed up by time. I'd call the ruins beautiful because they were mine, and make their broken edges glitter when they caught the shine. But sorrow dressed in poetry is sorrow all the same, and making pain look beautiful does not erase the flame. In the seventh, I would vanish where I stood, learn how to look okay so everyone believed I could. I'd smile wide enough to hide the shaking there, and say I'm fine until the lie became a prayer. I'd answer late, stay quiet, keep my feelings small, build walls so high that even love could never climb them all. I'd make myself convenient, simple to pass by, so no one ever stayed long enough to ask me why. Not because I truly wanted to be left alone, but because loneliness feels safer than the hurt I've known. In the eighth, I would finally turn within, trace every scar back to where the hurt had been. I'd count the times I left myself to make things right, the times I swallowed down my voice to stop a fight. I'd search my soul for some celestial design, some explanation hidden somewhere in the signs. But stars do not arrange themselves to tell us why. They simply keep on shining in an unanswered sky. And I would ask what waited underneath my fear, who I might become if grief no longer steered me here. And in the ninth, I think that I would pray, not for another life to carry me away, not for a gentler childhood, spotless and clean, not to raise the girl that I had always been, not for a life untouched by sorrow, loss, or pain, not to begin from somewhere else and start again. I'd beg for this one life, imperfect but still true, for every broken piece that somehow carried me through, because after 8 lives spent becoming someone new, I think the 9th would teach me I was always worth choosing too. So no, I do not want 9 lives, I want only this one, the one that kept me breathing when I could not see the dawn, the one that held me quietly when everything felt gone, the one that crossed through childhood storms and somehow still felt spring, the one that learned a wounded heart can still become a living thing. I want the hands that carried what they never should have known, the heart that kept on loving even when it stood alone, the voice that once went quiet just to keep somebody near, now learning it can speak without apologizing for its fear. And I will live like this life is not a sentence I must serve, not a broken thing that makes me doubt the love that I deserve, not a rehearsal for another life where I finally get things right, but something sacred unfolding beneath the passing light. I will live like I am still becoming, like there are flowers beneath everything I thought was dead, like there are chapters I have not imagined yet, like my life belongs to me. And if I only get one, let this be the one where I stop wishing I had 9, stop mourning every life that could have been mine, and finally understand the truth I could not always see. I do not need another life to finally choose me.